Well, hello, my fellow Americans and fellow Christians, and thank you for joining me for one more day of the Word of the Lord here in the United States of America. I am simply amazed at how sterilized the world and America has become. This boxing in has done more damage to the progress of intellect and creativity of human nature than we realize. It is no secret by the images we see in the news that for the past couple of years, America and the world continues to be on a violent and destructive path. We are in an extremely perilous age and are on a collision course. Blame seems to be the norm today, not the healing of a wounded nation or a wounded world. The healing process for America, and the world for that matter, must include an open mind with new ideas, as well as ethical standards and virtuous ideals of living if we are to endure. It all seems to be going nowhere. We currently continue to wall ourselves in with no solutions. The last thing we want is a social order by rule and law. It would dissolve and reduce the individual progress of intelligence, the open mind, power, and choice. How do we get past such a predicament? How can the world change its course? It is with an open mind, finding deeper and greater powers within. I have, over the course of the last year, been watching a news program which claims it's concerned about the future of America. It seemed to start off well by connecting with the founding of America, the great leaders of the past, as well as the incredible progress America made by grand thoughts, ideas, and determinations over the course of years. The show progressed even further to outline how we basically have found ourselves in the economic crisis we are now experiencing and the possibility of America's economic collapse in the future. The show was informative and all seemed to be going well when, out of the blue, the show host took a turn to a discriminatory finger pointing. The show host started to pronounce ideas of speculation of America and the world's destruction. In some cases, it really was out of hand, and the host's uncontrollable behavior seemed like pure foolishness. Some of the accusations seemed far-fetched, and the obsession to prove himself correct led to some irrational behavior. Then the host of the show began to inform his audience that he was a Christian, and occasionally had Christian ministers on his program outlining world ideologies and events they were saying are soon going to come to pass. In the past year, I witnessed the show host go from a well-balanced, informative mind and excellence of speech to someone who gives the impression there is no room for error, someone absolutely correct in their beliefs, on the edge or verge of extreme irrationality. I am giving you this quick rundown of this show host as an example of how we tie ourselves in knots by established psychological ideas which can eventually destroy intelligence, an open mind, power, and choice. This show host found himself in the wasteland by the walling himself in with compelled information and no way out. He was obligated by his established boundaries. This is where I think the world is today, stuck and sterilized by its established boundaries, unable to awaken and go past its own limitations. Men and women today, particularly Christians, cannot get past the establishment of its knowledge. What I mean in just using Christianity as an example is that Christianity already has an established belief system. All you have to do is believe and follow it. If you add to the belief system, you destroy the power of it, as we have seen in the past with so many men. Christianity is not meant to be evolved. However, men and women in Christianity block themselves to an open mind outside of the Christian faith by rules of their known beliefs, never experiencing beyond their present condition because they set for themselves rules of personal engagement. These rules block and stagnate reality, dilutes the mind, and hinders personality. It genders a position of psychological slavery to the established knowledge one already possesses. This formulation of psychological slavery closes the sight by the elimination of advancement of the mind to expand beyond. Instead of creativity and adventure, the mind is only under the tutelage of the established dictates of Christianity or knowledge, thinking it has already arrived. This type of closed mind is open, not to its own path, but the path already traveled. When you take the same path over and over again, nothing opens up, life dries up. Again, I think this is where we are here in America and the world and what we are all experiencing. There seemingly are no heroes, no great leaders, impressive men or women in this day and age of time. This does not mean these characteristics do not exist. We all still can venture forth into a region filled with great change and wonder. A place where individual knowledge opens up mysterious adventures you never thought would be available to you. The mind is filled with infinite possibilities and fascinations. Just think for a moment how the imagination works. You can imagine anything. It is infinite. So also is the mind. It has an infinite capacity of change and direction, just as it is mentioning how fascinating today life can be. A good example of this is the artist Norman Rockwell. His drawings had almost the same type of characters, but each drawing had a different imaginative thought, sometimes two or more meanings to the onlooker. This is a wonderful example of how the mind can work in life when given a chance to express itself beyond its known boundaries. The next time you leave a building, your home or church, remember you are leaving and stepping into a place of mighty individuals. You are going from into. Many have been blocked from looking at the world this way. Many have an inferiority complex at trying something new, and it keeps them as incomplete individuals. This complex, keeping one from advancing to one's own sacred space of personal happiness, is usually what is called a what is people think complex. Quite frankly, give up the complex. What people think is their problem. What people think must be put aside for your own personal happiness, for your own experience and bliss in life. This is the gist of it all. The path most people are afraid of is the one that gives back boons and boons of joyous adventure, bringing life's brilliant mysteries and fortunes to the unexpected. So dare to adventure. This adventurous activity creates your own life, creates your own reality. You then become mature by taking authority in your own life. The idea is to experience life above and beyond what you ever dreamed possible. It can only come when we are willing to enter places we have ignored or been afraid of to experience. Perhaps we can find these few words as a marvelous way of keeping us from holding on and going into a heroic life we never thought possible. Listen to these words. It takes courage to do what you want. Other people have a lot of plans for you. Nobody wants you to do what you want to do. They want you to go on their trip, but you can do what you want. When you do what you want, there the treasure lies. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.